Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again now to the Star Ladder I-League series here between ORGLESS and G2 Kingwin. This is the 14th season, and we're just kicking it off here once again, going into our second map. Very satisfying first map here for the players on Gamers 2 to take. My name is Blue. Joining me this evening is Hugo, and that was a very quick knife round.
It was indeed. G2 just taking it very easily, and I can imagine they're obviously going to pick CT side on Inferno. That would kind of make a lot of sense, I can imagine. And ORGLESS going to be left to the bottom on T side, and here we go right into the pistol round. No delays here, which is good. Okay, just take a quick look at the buys.
I'm looking at that there to see what these guys are.
This is interesting on CT. We're seeing 4 armor buys at the moment. I'm not sure Mike is going to pick up a kit. Yeah, he does pick up a kit, so that's probably safe. But 4 armor buys on CT, so they really don't want to waste any time with that. They don't want to throw down any smokes and hold down ORGLESS. And ORGLESS going for a very similar buy. Very normal default T-side buy for Inferno. They're going for 4 armor and 1 nade buyer. So getting quite a lot of second apps presence and second mid presence here from ORGLESS as they push quite aggressively here into Boiler. We can see Flash just going straight out into mid, not caring. He's just going for some shots out. Rubino was talk with a couple, but no, Flash is going to pull out on top there, and they've taken control of the A site at the moment. The rest of the CTs are playing mid and B, and so they're going to have to be rotating back in. Rain does pick up 2, and Michael also following up with 1 of his own, so that's just shut down ORGLESS as what looked like they had control of the round, you know, in a 4 versus 3. Flash is now left alone in this 1 versus 3, and there we go. Michael is going to finish him off, and that's going to be a very successful round for Kingwin or G2 there.
Yeah, and as you said, things just bounce back and forth so quickly between those two teams, but King or G2 just end up shutting it down there near the end and take very good control, so they're going to get their start off CT side. A bit unfortunate for ORGLESS is, again, there's been some good things with these guys, and starting off with a pistol round victory, which can oftentimes be a very close matchup there. Starting off with that pistol round victory would have been a great kickoff for them, because you normally expect between like 5 to 7 rounds picked up here on the T side, so essentially getting 3 for free would not have been a bad move for them at all. But Makalele, take a look at him, he's going to get super aggressive with his P90, and this could be an absolute disaster. Pushes in Rubino, just cleaning him up anyway. They didn't even really need Makalele, but he does manage to squeak in there and get at least 1 for his team.
Yeah, only leaving 2 alive for ORGLESS aside, and these 3 P90s is just savage from G2, you know, just really showing that they're just going to shut down anything that ORGLESS try on the second round here, and even with armor, they've got no chance, and they're just stuck in apps here, just Dead Fox and Farmer just left alone, and this isn't looking too good for them as JK runs in, and he does find 1 with a P90, and Rain also finishing off with the M4, so a very solid second round from G2 there, not losing a single player, and ORGLESS is going to be left with a full eco, so this is when the P90s are really going to come into play.
And now we have to see, obviously, as you mentioned before, pretty much almost an exact mirror of what we had happen on the previous map there, where they just go right for a very aggressive P90 buy up. The second round buy from ORGLESS doesn't really bear much fruit, and now they're just going to be another round where they don't have anything to offer. So I expect this to basically be G2 holding down their left mouse and holding down W as well. So here they go. They're just going to walk right forward. Rain's going to try to catch some more, and he does do the job. He picks up Flash, and that's basically going to be the end of this round. JK almost falls. They do manage to squeak there with a kill on JK at least, but that's probably going to be the only thing they grab, unfortunately.
Counter-terrorists win.
Are you still with me?
Yeah, sorry, I am. Mike was just muted there for a second. But as I was just saying, ORGLESS somehow getting more damage on a full eco than they are on a force buy. So very fun to watch there. And Rubino just missing the smoke there for Banana. Just pulling out his rifle, his P90 at the wrong time. And you can see a nice CT aggression down mid from Michael picking out the first strike with that P90. Not going to go for these M4s while ORGLESS are buying up. And you can see it's working quite well as they shut down most of the players and leaving just Nay alone in second mid here with no one to trade him out, and he's going to be able to pick up 1 to Michael equalising the situation to a 3-on-3, but at the moment he have a bit of an advantage in JK and will turn it into even more as he picks up Farmer on Banana, and now ORGLESS are left in tatters. Only 2 left alive, and it's going to be Flash actually finding 1 in mid, so they're trying to come back from this, and it looks like it may be doable with not a lot of nades left on the CT side. In fact, none on the CT side. They have got kits to work with, but no holding off ORGLESS anymore, and they're just going to have to go straight down to aim battles and good positioning.
And Flash and Nate just trying to see what they can work with at this point. It's still with plenty of time to do this. Not going to be very much stressed at all. They've got a lot of utilities. Well, you take like 2 smokes, so it can still work to default take as far as a push is concerned. Jakeem and Dennis have to try and hold their own angles, and thankfully, Jakeem's going to do a good job of holding his. They haven't spotted that final player with the bomb as of yet, so it's not all scot-free. So they still have to work against this one. And oh, Dennis taking a bit of a risk there too. Didn't know he was there, but he goes to his direct team and spots him, and he's actually just going to finish him off. So ORGLESS had a good lineup, but unfortunately pushed so far back, just didn't bear much fruit, and there you have it. Kingwood are now going to G2 are going to pick up the first gun round here as well.
Kingwin. And yeah, ORGLESS again having to eco once more. It's never going to leave us, is it? You know, even if this goes to 3 maps, we're still going to be calling them Kingwin. And again, ORGLESS going to be going for a little bit of a buy, bit of armor, a couple of Tech 9s and BT-50 just to work with. Maybe try and get the bomb down as well, and they are going to go very aggressive up mid at the moment, but Michael Ailey here with the AWP will find one. He's going to go for the second, but they're really close on his left. I don't think he realizes he's going to find the second and go for the no-scope, but Farmer will come out on top there, and Nay and Farmer just trying to do a bit of work. Dead Fox does find one as well, and they've done actually quite a lot of damage, but not a lot of armor to work with. Nay has got 12 HP, even though he has got body armor and head armor as well, and JK and Rubino coming in from the flank here, so this should be a fairly easy retake then there from these CT players, but you never know what can happen as both of the ORGLESS players do have rifles. Oh no, sorry. No, Nay's dropped his for Dead Fox.
Thankfully Nay's like the lower one too, so it's good, especially he's gonna get shut down, but unfortunately both of these players just end up getting basically deleted from the equation essentially as G2 just rocks right in there, and I wondered if JK was gonna click on the bomb there, but he does get his trigger onto that one, so they're gonna shut it down, and unfortunately for ORGLESS once again now, with them kind of going through with another aggressive buy that time. Gonna be looking, actually, they're still got a decent amount of money to work with here, and they're just gonna go right into another buy. It should seem that one player that had the AK actually still was able to work with quite a bit.
Yeah, and you know, the bomb plant obviously being very helpful, and they can get all these Molotovs as well, which is great for the B site, and it'd be good to see them kind of work for some B site play at the moment. If they set up some Molotovs on card to get rid of oranges and new box, they can definitely enter the B site with a lot more confidence knowing those areas are clear. And here we go, some aggression down Banana instantly. Rubino has got a nice position, backed up by JKM here at Sandbags, and no one's going to come on top though. JKM actually finding that shot as we do see a little bit of a whiff coming out from the dead box and picking out the second as well. It's just he's up at the eco at the moment. He's just spraying down players, and Flash finally finding one through the smoke. He's going to run through it, just trying to get even more damage, but Rubino is just there alone and still doing damage, finding one. Now it's just Barcode.
Yeah, Barcode trying to keep himself in the smoke, but obviously not really going to be able to go too far with that, so ORGLESS again just try to go for a straightforward push. It doesn't really pan out as well, and this is the problem we were talking about before, where obviously ORGLESS back over on a map like Train, there's a lot more possibilities to push in, but on a map over here like Inferno, where it's pretty straightforward, and unfortunately, you're going to have to basically push through your enemies no matter what your strat works, or unless you can get really sneaky with it. It's going to be a lot harder for these guys. They are going to have to rely on just purely, either really good smoke setups to force it back, but with how aggressive G2 is playing this at this point, they're going to have to go up against these players right from the get-go, and it seems they're struggling with that in a pretty big deal right now, and that's why they haven't been able to pick up any rounds as of yet.
Barcode, nice entry there from his aggression from Michael Ailey there in apps, and we can just work off this and try and get a couple more picks, and it seems like they will do exactly that, finding one onto Rain, and Farmer, although getting quite low due to that Molotov, is going to flank round, wrapping round towards EA site as Dennis is left alone here. He's going to pick up one, going to go for the second as well, doing a bit of damage on the neighbour, not actually to find anything. There we go, Flash going down, and Dennis actually being the beast as it said in his name, and finding three, and just Rubino and him left alive as Dead Fox comes in from the flank, and he will find one onto Dennis, so that's finally his wrath shut down, and now to 1 versus 1. Plenty of time left on the clock, so Dead Fox has so much to work with, as well as he has, quite a few nades, and although there is a kit on Rubino here, he's going to go for a risky plant, peeking out, and there we go, Dead Fox taking that 1 versus 2 clutch very successfully, and Rubino will go down, leaving ORGLESS to get their first round of the half.
And we talk about Dead Fox here once again. I mean, not only just in this map so far, we're coming out with clutches like that, but the previous map too. Definitely so far, he's been one of the biggest players of this team. Some fantastic plays left and right. When he gets the op in his hands there too, we've seen that before. He's been doing an absolutely stellar job with that. We're not going to see that just as of yet, but definitely look out for him, as he's definitely so far the star player for this team, along with him and probably Flash as well, making some nice plays in the earlier portions of that last map too.
Yeah, definitely Drew and G2 on their final buy until they have to eco if they lose this one, of course, and Rubino getting flashed out into Banana. We'll find a couple of players just spotting him, not going to manage to get any damage, so to follow up on that, and ORGLESS just trying to gain Banana control, pushing up into car at the moment. Nice flash coming out from Rubino. They're going to expect it though, and it's a smoke, and just holding them off for a few more seconds at least, down to 1 minute 12, and ORGLESS haven't made much map control really. They haven't pushed up too aggressively. They got Banana at least, up towards car. You can see not Nay, who is a Barcode up there by Sandbags, but at the moment they really need a lot more presence in the map, pushing up finally into apartments here. We're going to see Flash not going to manage to find anyone with Barcode. Does take down 2 on the B side through the smoke. What is that? Very, very impressive. And now only 3 players remain for G2, and they're finally going to rotate the bomb back over towards B as the rest of the G2 players can imagine they're going to save in the situation. It might be quite a hard retake, when they don't have control of it, but Dennis is just trying to do a little bit of damage onto Barcode, but will get taken down there from the flank, and only 2 players left alone on G2. I can imagine they're going to save, but means that they're either playing for exits or maybe considering going for this, but I wouldn't really see too much of a reason in doing that.
Rain's got to be careful here, specifically for that reason there too of Barcode, and Barcode's actually just going to roll right in. He picks up another kill over on the Rain. Thought he was going to get before, but he's going to come in, and that's going to be an ace from Barcode. He just shuts down everything. Just pretty casual ace, if I do say so myself, but those 2 kills there back over on Banana, rolls right in, finds those, picks up another one on a Dennis as he tries to rotate himself back in. He kind of got out of the way at first, but he went loud, and I don't think he expected that other player to be inside of jungle, or already waiting, or not jungle, being inside of construction, already waiting for him there at that point. And then he just pushes forward, kills the final 2 as they're attempting to run away, and gets the ace off of the hands of that one. So what an amazing play from Barcode. And now ORGLESS are going to get themselves back into this game, and then they partially break the economy here from G2 now as well, because they're going to have to go for a pretty awkward buy and conclude 2 Mag 7s.
Yeah, but the Mag 7s aren't really too much of a negative if you look at the positions that they're playing. JKM on B site and Rain down here in apps. He's got quite an aggressive position. If ORGLESS don't pre-fire this, he could definitely come out on top, and Flash is can hold him back for a few more seconds, but at least he can push off that if he needs to. Just spotting and getting some information now. He's going to back off finally back towards balcony here, but nope. J0's mine once again, and Rain should definitely come into contact with Flash. It seems like they're both pushing into apartments. Molotov going into bedroom, and Rain is finally going to pick out Spot. The player will do a bit of damage, but not going to manage to find any frags just yet, and Rain down to 6 HP.
And as
Finally going to make the wise decision to back off though.
Makalele at this point as well here. See if he can pick up some shots from the corner. He's going to be able to find one on a dead Fox. Now falls back here. As the rest of G2 getting into their positions, getting ready for a push to come out from the rest of ORGLESS here, but with that player going down, that's going to slow them down by a pretty big margin. Flash back over here at the end of Long Haul, getting himself onto the balcony, but peeks directly onto Dennis there. So that's an easy shot for him. Makalele can find these heads too, can't connect on any of them as of yet, but now they're going to come through here. Barcode picking up one, as is the Farmer, but you still got Dennis and Makalele in the play at this point. Makalele unfortunately has gone down, but at the same time it's a 3-on-1. Nay gets control of the site, can probably sneak through with this plan, but in just a few moments here, they're all going to be pushing into his doorstep, but they're all going one by one, and Nay's going to pick up another kill over here on Dennis. This is now a very feasible situation. Might have to get a little bit aggressive here because of Jacame slowly sneaking up around, and he was playing over towards B, moved up on a Cap, but he picks up this kill as well over onto Rubino. Now just one more away from clutching it out, and we're going to see Jacame, thankfully for G2, come out on top. Going to be a full 10-second defuse, but I believe he's still got plenty of time to make that happen.
So unlucky for Nay there. Really looked doable at that point. After getting that first frag, it was kind of, they were coming from separate directions, so definitely couldn't trade each other. And sadly, just losing it there to JKM, having obviously enough time to defuse. And they'll be up to 7 rounds against ORGLESS 2, and it's not looking too good. ORGLESS will be able to buy up, thankfully, after getting that bomb down, so they will be able to compete and still challenge G2 at the moment, try and hurt their economy a little bit more. And that force buy from G2 actually somehow coming out on top with 2 Mag 7s and a Deagle.
So, these guys, once again, now from Gamers 2, going to get themselves back into that fairly safe position. ORGLESS are able to squeak by with a couple rounds here, but need to make it a little bit more consistent here. And as for Gamers 2, they actually sit nice and, they're actually still very low in terms of what they're able to purchase, as we already mentioned previously here. Rain still suck onto a Mag 7, and if ORGLESS do push directly into him, at least this number 7 player, if Barcode ends up pushing right into his face here, it's going to get a bit rough, but he pops out. Could definitely hear him moving up, and he's going to move forward, but the headshot from Rain shuts it down. Now he's got an AK. The bomb gets tossed back, and the Farmer actually gets the trade. No bomb being spotted out there either, so we can't really see a big reaction come out from Gamers 2 due to that.
Yeah, but a nice trade from ORGLESS so far, and they should be happy with that. 4 versus 4 isn't too bad on T-side, at least on Inferno, and, they had to either go for a 3-1 split or a 2-2 split, so sadly, they're working their way towards the A side, which is where the 3 players are at the moment, and maybe not the best read on G2 at the moment. Oh, but look at this aggression coming from Dennis. He does find one with the AWP, picks up a second, and leaving just Flash alone here. And Boiler, his teammate, is on the complete other side of the map, and Dennis is just going to back off with that. He's happy with this 2K. He's just going to leave it at that and be safe with the advantage, not going to want to get picked. As we can see Farmer here pushing towards the B side, does find one onto JKM, and Rubino here coming in from the flank, but the bomb is down bottom mid with only 30 seconds left on the clock. This isn't really doable for ORGLESS. They're completely separating on other sides of the map, and now down to 7 HP on Farmer. He has put himself in a really good position. He is going to find Rubino there getting that shot, and Dennis is just coming in with the retake with the AWP, but with 18 seconds left on the clock, they should just have enough time to plant, but no smokes left. A problem for him crossing across CT here, and we can see the bomb getting thrown onto site. Makalele is going to get taken down by Flash. Doesn't know that Dennis is just coming from behind, and Dennis has his AWP, so he should be able to pick this up technically. And there we go. Nice shot, just seeing his legs, and will come out on top. And G2 only just winning that round. That was really close from ORGLESS. They really, somehow stayed in it, with Farmer doing a lot of work over there on the B site. Really impressive play by him.
And this is what we've been talking about again here. I mean, obviously, nothing to shy away from Morgans at this point, too. We've been talking about this. They've got some good things working about them, and they're able to bring these rounds down very, very close against the players from Gamers, too. But at the end of the day, they're still missing that little bit of pizzazz, I guess you could call it, in order to actually come through with a clutch, and that's very unfortunate. Oh, Dennis, though, gonna miss an opportunity to pick up a kill, and he almost falters, but thankfully, players from ORGLESS are dead broke at this point. They don't really have a lot to offer this round, so they're just gonna go right for it. But unfortunately, Dennis having to deal with all these players, he's lucky to even grab one of them with all four of them rushing into his face. So he's gonna grab that. The rest have moved on to Rapside, but they're boxed in at this point. They've got nowhere to go. They can't get onto the site without getting more kills. And in comes Rain. He's gonna pick one up over on the barcode. Flash gets the response, but now out comes Rubino. Only gets one as himself, but thankfully it's manageable. And they bring it just down to Ray, who's gonna be, or Nay, apologies, who's gonna get finished off there by Jakame. And that's gonna be another round on the board at this point for G2.
Yeah, so obviously with a solid lead so far, 9-2 on their second map, and really G2 are just looking to close this out as fast as they can. Want to get as many rounds as they can on the CT side, obviously with having Rubino on their team. Maybe a slight, problem with T-side strats, but really on Inferno you find they're a lot less complex than they are on maps like Train or Overpass or Cobble in that matter, and you can see some aggression coming down mid from ORGLESS, as well as heavy presence in second mid for their players there with the bomb as well, so they're obviously working towards some kind of ace take, and we can just see that G2 are working off this. They've got some aggressive banana control from Rain. He's pushed all the way down at Logs, and he can get a really nice flank if Deadfox doesn't hold his back. He's going to pop flash through the smoke, and this could be huge. Rain dropping into T spawn there. They're going to spot him out.
That was odd that he goes back down a T-Rap there, but we'll talk more about this in a second. As we can see, Dennis going ham, finds 1, 2, 3 before we finally see a headshot coming out there from Flash, but the damage has already been done. However, the players from ORGLESS are smart about this. They know that pushing into the A site would essentially be suicide at this point, so they're actually going to wrap it back around to B, and they get control. Kingward or G2, they're still not even aware this is happening. Their players are maybe just now realizing that they might have gone down this route, and the plant's going to come in for free now, and they're going to have to work this 2-on-3 retake, which might honestly be hard to do when you consider what exactly Gamers 2 have to work with now, and they're still, like, just now getting in a position for this retake, so they're not going to have a whole lot of time to do it either.
Yeah, but a nice pop flash from his teammate is going to allow, Deadfox to pick up one frag. They don't know that no one's coming from CT spawn, though, so this is an issue. They've still got a Molotov to work with, and they are going to throw it down, I think. Look at these players pushing down from G2. They're so close in the site, and they still have no idea of the positions of ORGLESS, but I can guess they can imagine. Rubino still running out of time though, and it just seems like Michael Ailey here is going to have to save, and that was kind of in vain. G2 trying to retake that. There really wasn't enough time by the time they pushed all the way down second mid. By the time they pushed all the way down mid and Banana, and got after they lost that first pick, as Deadfox picked up one in Banana, it's kind of untakeable really with the amount of time they had left.
Yeah, and pretty much as we had already mentioned there, obviously the players from Gamers 2 making a big mistake there, not catching on to the fact that they wrapped over through arches and took that down highway to the B side a lot more quickly. So ORGLESS do manage to escape through there. They get lucky, they pick up an extra round for themselves, and now the players here from Gamers 2, they're going to be down another one here, where they're still obviously in a very good position picking up the 9 rounds on the CT side, but they're going to want to try to find some more, and unfortunately with this kind of economy, it might be a little bit hard to do that in these final few rounds, as ORGLESS now has the edge in that regard.
JKM getting flash through the smoke on B, does pick up one onto barcode. They will trade him out though, obviously, and G2 should be happy with that. At least they've got one, and they just need to try and find more as they rotate a player over towards the B side. That's going to be Dennis there holding from CT, holding the happy angle, so maybe could do some damage. And there we go, Nay getting that nice Molotov kill onto Rain on the A side, so that's going to be a nice opening for ORGLESS at the moment. 2 for 1.
And we can see here too, they're just taking their time with it, as there is still a good amount of trades coming out here from Gamers 2. But to figure out where exactly the positions are being held, mainly is going to be Flash at this point, trying to push his way through over there. But finally, with the timer getting lower, they're going to have to regroup. And they do decide to make that push up towards Banana again. They've been having a lot of luck with this B site takes. They're going to try to push towards this once again. The crossfire, though, is set up at this point, and it will be a little bit rough. Thankfully, the weapons, not the best. Looking at Dennis with a deagle, at this point with a shotgun. We're already going to see Dennis reveal himself. Now the shotgun comes into play, but he picks one of them, they combo it there. Deadfox picks up one of them. Rubino's still strong by first oranges, and now it's just Deadfox working this one too. But he's been consistent before, so I wouldn't be surprised if he clutches this out, gets strong, gets his help behind the wall there in order to get a secure position, and now he's going to be able to get the plan and bring this into a one-on-one.
Wow, impressive from Deadfox there, managing to actually regroup at that kill after not realizing that, I'm not sure which player there was left on the B side, but Michael Ailey here coming in from the flank. Sure, he has a large idea of where he's coming from at least. He can see he's watching Banana, and here we go, Michael Ailey pushing in. He doesn't manage to find that shot. Actually dinked down to 20 HP here through the wall, and the Molotov's going to force him out of position, and there we go, Michael Ailey coming out on top there. Nice 1v1, and they will get the defuse with plenty of time remaining.
And that's going to close it out, and we can see there too that obviously I'm going to shoot down. Oh, it's like, why was Rubino asking for his HP if he killed him? But He's gonna get
He
brought
means
up
after
pretty
that
low.
dink.
Oh no, CS crashed.
Ah,
Do the radio cast, man. You gotta hold it while I get back in game.
we're seeing something funny though. Although you're not seeing it, I'm seeing something funny. Rain actually picked up an auto shotgun. Oh, he's passed it to JKim now. JKim now has an auto shotgun on the B site, knowing that Orgless are now on an eco. Sadly, Orgless aren't going aggressive towards B at the moment, so that would be really funny if they were, and he could pick up, you know, some insane frag movie clips. And only DevFox playing the only B player at the moment. He hasn't got anyone to trade him either, and you just see here JKM getting quite close with that auto shotgun, but no, Rubino is going to come out on top yet. Orgless are on this, you know, almost full eco. They are just rushing towards the A site at the moment, just getting shut down. Rain is going to pick up 2, yet 3, and just leaving Nay on his own in this 1 versus 5. And with a Tech 9, you know, Tech 9s are great guns, but realistically, no chance in him doing it. And he will find JKM. Going for the second, but they're going to double peek him, and that's going to be Rubino picking up the frag. And G2 up to 11-3 now. Are you back in?
Yep, we're back in. We only missed the 1 round. I'm pretty sure that was an eco too, right?
Yeah. They just completely mowed down Orgless, basically. Lost 1 player.
So you didn't miss too much, guys. You're not gonna get any odd shot, or you didn't miss any Reddit karma or anything, so you can relax about that. So Gamers 2 again with a strong hold at this point against Orgless. Orgless is gonna have a whole lot of work to do, starting with just the pistol round going into the second half here at this point, and obviously Gamers 2 with no reason to worry heading into it here. A little bit of a trade happening over here at the edge of alt middle, as we'll see Nay and Flash pick up 2 kills to bring things into an even 3-on-3, but Rain coming up there through Banana, actually still flanking some of these guys. They've got them trapped, but at the same time, there's a flank for the flankers, and that's going to be Dead Fox, who's moved in here. Nay already going to be able to manage one of them on his own, as that's going to be able to drop down Rain, but still keep in mind here, too, that obviously Dennis creeping all the way through Mexico. He's going to pick up another kill on the Flash, and he drops Nay. Looking for the final one here, too. Swapping over to the AK just in case he tries to go on his own pet, but that headshot from Dennis, just the wand tap to shut down Dead Fox, and there you go. G2 Kingwood up 12-13. Once again, a very strong performance here coming out of the end of the first half.
Yeah, definitely so. 12-3, leaving Orgless in shambles, and this kind of means that Orgless need the pistol round. If they don't get it, then they're going to be forced into eco and just going to lose the half pretty much almost instantly. And you know, if they lose a pistol, they'll be down 13-3, and then, you know, unless they pick up some interesting, you know, second round or third round buy, it'll be all the way up to 15-3. So that's kind of leaving them just to their last buy round, which won't even be full unless they decide to eco on the second round. And we can just see aggression coming out from G2 up Banana here. They all find 1 frag. That's Dennis taking down Farmer, and Barco getting the trade frag, and they're still peeking B. So a questionable decision coming out from Orgless, and you can see it will punish them as Rain pushes right in, does find 1, and Rubino also following up. And this round seems like it's going very well to G2. Only 2 players left on Orgless side, and one of them has armor, one of them doesn't. Nays coming in here from Banana, does find 1, will not check the sandbag zone. There's still 1 behind him. JKM getting that headshot, leaving just Dead Fox alone in this 1 versus 2. He hasn't even got armor to work with. He has got a kit, so he's got plenty of time, I guess, but realistically, still 2 players left, and they're playing such good angles, such passive play, and JKM just sitting here on Banana waiting for him to peek. Rubino will get that nice one tap onto Dead Fox, so Orgless losing that round, and now it's kind of looking at GG at this point.
Yeah, we would have to see. I got another eco round being picked up here by the players from ORGLESS, so if they go for the buy directly here, this could be the game changer, and then obviously the final gun round itself will be the deciding factor there, because they should be able to get their buys, assuming they don't rush for the buy again on the 18th round, which would be very, very foolish indeed, because that would definitely guarantee GG. But they're going to go for their aggressive buy. No scout or anything here, but it's just CZs, a deagle on the barcode, and then a P250 with a little bit of extra utility on Dead Fox. If they don't manage to squeak through with a victory here, more than likely G2 should have things in the bag, including the first gun round victory.
Now, this is the complex issue, because if Orgless aren't don't buy up this round, they will be able to afford nades, you know, on their first buy round in Rain. What was that? Just a nice shot through the smoke. But again, if Orgless didn't buy up this round, they would be able to afford nades on their, you know, technically their final buy round, you could say. But they are going to instead force up this round, which means, you know, they won't have a lot of utility to work with on their last round at least. So it could be an issue for them, definitely, especially on CT side Inferno, where nades are really, really needed to kind of utilize the choke points that there are on this map. And Barco does find a nice 1D onto Rain, but there's still 2 players left to find, and with the bomb down and not even a kit on either of the players, this is kind of impossible. And Michael Ailey with a perfect position coming in from the flank is going to be able to spot out a player if he needs be.
And now Makalele doesn't even realize it's being diffused, so Makalele's going to have to run right in here. He doesn't realize that it's being diffused, goes in to check it, it's going in, but he's going to be able to stop it just in time, and holy crap, that could have gone a completely different direction if Makalele didn't realize what was happening. It took him a really long time to catch on to what was going on there, as ORGLESS, they made a really good case for the retake. They got it, but good patience there for Makalele, I suppose, and a little bit too much patience, but still it ends up coming very, very close, and he ends up getting the kill just in the nick of time.
Less than a second left as well, you know, so unlucky. Michael Ailey just clutching that, and ORGLESS are obviously not going to look too good after this, and we do get a bit of GoTV lag there, but down to this almost full eco. A Deagle on Barcode is all they really got to work with, apart from Farmer, and there we go. Deagle instantly out the hands of ORGLESS and just farm with this P250, so really nothing they can do about this, and I can imagine G2 will take this round very, very easily. With Rubino with this sawed-off shotgun should be very fun to watch. He will push straight into B, get that frag onto Flash, and now there's only 3 players left on the retake. Both here in mid now, and yeah, Rain and Dennis just finish them off. So G2 now up to 15 rounds, ORGLESS down to 3, and on their final buy round, so they won't even have a lot of equipment to work with. No head armor, I can imagine. Farmer does decide to go for some instead of a smoke, so maybe a questionable decision as G2 do decide to pick up 5 AKs.
1 HE as well, so like no molly either. So in terms of the take, it's gonna be absolutely raw. They have to go right into this here. There's nothing that can really force relocations here from the Gamers 2, at least in a post-plant scenario here. Obviously, might as well be as effective, so they can't use it to hold them back. They can't use it to get any initial damage if they all just go for a waterfall method on one of these points. But as we can see, the opening push there comes out from ORGLESS. That's going to be the Farmer. Tries to push long hauls in hopes of getting a kill. He did some nice damage, and Dead Fox is going to be almost able to finish off both of those guys, but now the rest roll in there. Rain is going to be able to find Dead Fox. He gets caught a little bit off surprise after trying to focus on Dennis back over there on the balcony. So, such quick site control being taken. There's going to be a little bit of a battle back over here by T-Spawn, and that's going to be Rubino coming out on top there as well. So now just 2 left alive, both stuck in the library. Barcode's sort of leading it right now, but his teammates right behind him. They're going to have to try to push out, and like I was talking about before, they don't really have a whole lot to work this with. Nay's going to find 1, and now he's surrounded here. Rubino's out in the open, and Rubino is going to end up closing it out. So a satisfying second round victory here for the players on the side of Gamers 2. 16-3 is going to be the final score, and unfortunately for ORGLESS, things on Inferno just weren't meant to be.
Yeah, taking that best of 3 2-0 there from G2, so very impressive play by them. You know, ORGLESS putting a bit more of a fight up on their map choice at least, but, you know, when it comes down to G2 or their map pick, obviously 16-3 is apparently the appropriate score for them, so well played to them, and that will be this best of 3 concluded.
And indeed, that is going to conclude the entire stream for today, guys. So thank you all very much for tuning in. We hope you have enjoyed things here. Final score of today's sets, for any of you that did miss it, Envy picked up a 2-0 victory versus Dignitas, absolutely shutting them down. And then we saw almost a repeat of the exact same thing here in this previous set. ORGLESS putting up a little bit of a fight on Train, but ultimately falling over here on Inferno to Gamers 2, as they as well are going to take a 2-0 set. We'll be back tomorrow, guys, I believe at around the same time with more games, so be sure to join us then, and we'll have more information coming then on who exactly is going to be playing. We got some good ones tomorrow, so be sure to check that one out. I believe one is going to be TSM versus Titan, so be sure to stick around for that one. And beyond that, folks, thank you all very much for tuning in. The casters here, if you'd like to follow myself as well as Hugo on Twitter, I am pretty simple at BLUCSGO, and Hugo, I believe you're at 27-in-1 Hugo, right? You probably want to spell that
is
out
correct.
For people.
Yeah. 27-in-1 HUGO. That's it, basically, you know.
No numbers in there or anything?
Well, yeah, 27-in-1 HUGO.
You gotta tell them that, man. I don't know if it's spelled out.
Well,
27.
they got it now. They got it now. It's all good.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully we can catch you tomorrow for some more games. See you later.